Welcome to The Plus Ones, a podcast serving wedding advice and hot takes from the Blue Ridge to the upstate. I'm Taylor, your co-host, and I share this platform with my good friend and wedding planner, Kat. We're seasoned wedding plus ones who aren't afraid to say the quiet parts out loud. So whether you're newly engaged or knee-deep in vendor quotes, we're here to help you make sense of the madness. Let's get started. Hi, Plus Ones. Welcome back. We are glad to have you here today. We are talking about something interesting today, scam culture in the wedding industry, specifically like vendors being underprepared to offer services or scamming clients. We have plans to interview a couple clients who have experienced this personally firsthand, but today it's just going to be Kat and I chatting it up and giving you our unsolicited opinions.
As always.
As always.
That's what you came here for.
Yeah, and who knows how long this episode will be, because we're going to read a few stories, I think, aren't we, Kat? From Reddit, maybe?
I think so. I think I found a couple good ones.
Okay. I know TikTok is full of them. Like, I feel like every day I'm scrolling on TikTok and I'm seeing somebody talking about how they were scammed by a planner or a wedding photographer, which is bizarre to me. But yeah, I have a lot to say about it. I'm sure you do too. Okay. How do you want to start?
Well, I don't know. I think this is very obvious, but as a wedding professional, there's really very little certification that you need. You don't really get a degree in it. I mean, you can, but it's not required. There's just very little proof of, let's say, your experience outside of, a very detailed portfolio. So it's very easy for people to come about and lie and show work that might not be theirs, and offer discounted prices to encourage people to book with them even if they've never planned or photographed a wedding. And this can be for any vendor, florist, caterer, photo booth operator, anybody. And it's sad and it's disappointing, and I don't think that everybody that is advertising, these quote unquote wedding scams, I really think that they might have good intentions, but it's important to understand why being an experienced wedding vendor is important. But this is super important to me just because I do see it quite a bit. And, when I was first starting out, the first thing I did was I found a wedding planner that I wanted to go work for. When I wanted to switch over to doing, event operations. I was previously working for an equestrian center, helping organize their events, and I wanted to switch over to weddings in 2020-ish. And so I went and I found a wedding planner and I interned with her, and I was her assistant for I think a little bit less than a year. And I worked my off to make sure that I was understanding and learning and just embracing every bit of information that was given to me. I listened to podcasts, I watched YouTube channels, I hyper fixated and I studied and tried to make myself as the most educated I could. And then I went and I got a job as a hotel sales manager. So I was doing all the wedding sales and wedding bookings for a hotel in downtown Greenville. That helped a lot. I was still working for the other planning company at the same time, just helping them out with some events. And then I was also able to see other wedding planners' timelines and floor plans and see how they operate, watch them on wedding days. It was really interesting just observing how so many different wedding planners were doing essentially the same thing, but doing it in so many different ways, doing their ceremony rehearsals, doing their order of events, just doing everything just a little bit differently. So that helped a lot. And then after I worked at the hotel, I was brought on to the original wedding planning team full time as a principal planner. So I was the lead planner of a wedding planning company, I think for a couple years at least. I can't remember. And then the owner of that wedding planning company ended up moving away. So I took over those clients and I started building up my own brand. But I put in the time and the effort and the work to educate myself to the fullest extent and to make sure that I was a well-rounded wedding planner. not only just working for other planners, but I went and I worked for florists. I went and I helped Laura, what is it, clean flowers. And I went and I helped Preston do his florals. And I learned about setup and I learned about different kinds of florals. And I'm still doing this. I'm still trying to understand everything that comes with it. So I do think it's very easy for somebody that wants to join the wedding industry to just post on Facebook and say, "Hey, I'll do your wedding for, $200, $500, whatever. Let me plan your wedding just simply for the experience." That's great. But I don't think that's the best way to teach yourself. The best way to teach yourself is through somebody else's eyes. Um, and at what cost are you, yeah, you're doing a discounted wedding planning service, but it's at the cost of that potential client, that bride and groom. And that wedding day, you can't ever get back. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Sorry,
all
I
true.
just talked a lot.
That's okay. Get you a sip of water after that. I mean, I agree with everything that you say. It feels obvious now to do these things and to be educated and to have this experience. But when I started, I shot my first wedding, I want to say like 2012. We didn't have these types of resources
Right.
that people have today. I mean, I was like the only wedding photographer in my city at the time. And at this point, people were just doing it for each other. And they had a friend who happened to take photos of their kids. And there was never really anybody like super established. If they were, like, people where I was from weren't hiring them because they were too expensive. So it wasn't until I had shot a couple weddings, like, oh my gosh, when I was like 16 years old. And then I moved away, I got a job, and then I realized the importance of experience and education. And then that's when I came back and pursued it. But yeah, it's a lot of people. I mean, in this day and age, though, like that was how many years ago? What is it? That was 12 to 14 years ago, that period of time. So things are very different now. I mean, there are courses and workshops and internships and all kinds of things. And I truly believe with my whole chest, you should not pick up a camera and go shoot a wedding without having ever shadowed a wedding photographer or worked for a wedding photographer before.
And I do say, all what I said before with a grain of salt, because obviously these resources have just recently come about. Now, I did want to ask you about, these workshops, these photography workshops. I see a lot of them doing styled shoots, but I've never attended one of these styled shoots where there's multiple photographers trying to get content. Can you tell me a little bit about those and potentially how those can go south?
Like a styled event or more like an educational workshop?
I think what I'm thinking of is less educational workshop and more of, I don't know, I've seen them advertised before by other photographers who
Like
are legit.
like a styled event, like a fake wedding, basically,
Yeah, and like
where
there's
other
different
photographers
vignettes.
where they come for content. And yeah,
They
I
come
mean,
for content.
yes, and I have nothing against style shoots. I do them myself. I love them. It's a good way to be creative and get to work without all that pressure, on a wedding day. But
Okay,
it still isn't an experience from a real wedding. That
gotcha,
pressure that you feel at a real wedding is unmatched. You're not experiencing that at a style shoot
gotcha.
where everything is perfect and there's no mother of the bride and no mother of the groom arguing and there's no bridal party acting insane and half drunk and like all those things that you experience at real weddings. This is the perfect event and everything is perfectly tailored and it's great and easy. And yes, it can show off your work, your art, like as far as like technically, but how you perform under pressure is everything in the wedding industry, I believe.
Yeah, you gotta be scrappy.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. And you don't know that until you're in it. I mean, after I shot like two weddings, I was like, oh my God, who would do this? I was charging like $400 or something. I don't know. It's insane. It was insane. And I'm like, well, they're just going to have their friend do it. So why not just, you get what you pay for? You're paying me $300 and I'm a $300 photographer. And that still rings true. If you're paying somebody $500 to shoot your wedding, please don't expect anything more than $500 worth of wedding photos.
Which still, I mean, think about it. Like $500 is nothing to joke about. I would love $500 right now.
No, No, I get it. But there is a big difference in a $500 photographer, $5,000 photographer, $10,000 photographer. I mean, it's all about where the industry is right now.
It's wild that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Anyways, I did just kind of want to briefly touch on what you did to kind of further your experience. What have you done? What workshops? What has been helpful? What
Mm.
was a total scam?
Oh, oh my God. I could talk about this for a long time. I hope we have the time. So, first of all, my first real job was an internship as a White House news photographer in Washington, D.C. And that was my first bout of photography education because at the time I was like 15, 16. I graduated early at 17. So I got the job and started the job at 17. So I was a young kid, a young graduate. Looking back, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe my parents sent me off into the world.
That's nuts. And then
Goodbye.
you went and lived in DC
Yeah.
by yourself.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but it was the most fulfilling and amazing experience. That was the way my life, that was the path my life was supposed to be on. And it's
Oh,
crazy because it's not how my parents saw it being. I mean, my dad was so gun ho about me to go to college, and I'm not knocking college. Like, you can be a photographer and go to college. It's just a different experience. You
yeah.
cannot go to college and you can learn everything technical about how to work a camera and how to master photography technically. But that experience you just can't get in sitting in a classroom. You have to get out there. And I can remember running through the Capitol building. We were late. We were running through the Capitol building to try to make it on time. We had all of our gear. I had like 100 pounds of gear on me. I was like this skinny 17-year-old. And the sole of my shoe falls off. And we're late and I can't stop. And I just keep running. And I have the bottom of my foot is on the ground. Like it was like a boot. So like it's my boots like flopping around and the sole of my shoe is left in the Capitol building. A little piece of me is left back there forever. But it's like such an intense experience. Like I couldn't stop. Like my boss would have been like, "What the hell are you doing? Like we're late. This is important." Like it was very, I don't know. It was just it was just an experience. I can't explain it other than being like, you get out there and you get in the field and then you get back to me on it because until you've experienced that, reading a book about photography is just not the same.
Yeah. I feel the same way about wedding planning. You
Yeah.
can't learn that in a classroom.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, you can learn so much, but to an extent. And then you're like, okay, I'm ready. I need to get out there. And I've been doing this for so long, and I can never expect what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what's going to happen next in the field. Some things go so crazy wrong. Sometimes it goes perfectly, but being able to think on your feet and really adapt to your settings and your surroundings to me is everything. It's almost more important than being a talented photographer. Running a
Yeah.
good business and being a skilled, experienced photographer is better than being a technically perfect photographer, in my opinion.
It's,
It's great. It's
some
great to have both, of course, but
it's definitely some percentage of being a talented photographer and another percentage of being adaptable and flexible and just on it on
yeah,
wedding
yeah,
day. Because if you are technically a talented photographer, like you're saying, you might not have the skills to keep up with it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, you have to have a well-oiled ship. It has to be all around perfectly executed. But I can definitely see, and I see often photographers who are not like the best ever succeeding because they run such a great business and their client experience is so great and they make up for it in other ways. And I mean, it's all about vetting your vendors and what's important to you and what aligns with your budget and things like that. But yeah,
What I think is crazy is you can't guarantee anything on a wedding day. You can't. And you might have a bad day, and that might, be the end of it. You might get a bad review, and then it goes crazy in the Facebook groups.
mm-hmm.
And then what do you know? Your business is destroyed.
Crazy. It's crazy that it's that easy to ruin
It's
someone's livelihood.
so
Yeah.
easy. And then what do you know? You've got not only everybody on Facebook freaking out, but your clients that you have for the future are freaking out.
Yeah.
And you've got to let them out of that contract because you don't want to force your
Yeah.
clients to work with you if they're not comfortable.
And I'm
You
not
can't
saying
do
that
that.
some vendors don't deserve that,
Yeah, no, I'm not
you know,
saying that
but
this is
I think it's too easy. This happened to me one time. Someone posted on Facebook that I released her as a client because I was like, she was not nice. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you your money back. I don't feel like we're a great fit. I thought I made the right decision in that moment.
yes, you did. Trust me, you
And
did. Because imagine moving forward.
she got on Facebook and blasted the out of me and only told one side of the story and nobody understood. And people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm like, what am I missing here? I made the right decision. It's just my business and I'm allowed to choose who I work with. And I felt like I was not being respected.
Yeah. Well, and think about it. She wrote nasty things because you released her as a client. Imagine what it would have been
Yeah,
potentially
that's my
after she
point.
got
Yes, that's
her
my point.
gallery back. It would
Yeah,
have
that
been way
she
worse.
proved my point, honestly. You're right. Putting it like that's true. She
I
didn't leave me a bad review, but she put it on Facebook, which is the same thing. And I was just like, such a weird way to handle things as an adult, you know?
It is.
Like I was like not communicating with her. We had an open line of communication. She received a refund. Like there was nothing. It wasn't like I had gone AWOL like some of these crazy vendors and took their money and never responded. Like that is different. But like she was just upset that she didn't get what she wanted and it was her fault. I don't know what to tell you.
Can you give me an example of the most recent wedding scam that you have seen, or what kind of typically happens with
Oh,
these wedding scams?
well, of course, was telling me about it yesterday about her wedding planner. And I don't want to tell you too much about that because I want her to tell her story. It's wild. I'd forgotten about it. But anyway, I'm only going to tell you one thing about her wedding planner that I can remember because, you know, it's a hectic day for me. And I wasn't super close to her. I hardly had any contact with her wedding planner, honestly,
Hmm.
which was a red flag to me, of course. But, you know, I was just there to do my job. She wore this low cut pair of jeans and this tube top that showed her lower back tattoo, like her tramp stamp.
Wait, what? The wedding planner
The
wore
wedding
this.
planner at the wedding. And she wouldn't let me eat.
What?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Like I
Wait, can you tell me about like the formality? Like, let's give like all the things before we're like, she was a tube top.
well, she's
Like,
would you wear a tube top with your lower back tattoo showing?
well, I mean, maybe if it's at like a club.
It was not at a club. It
What?
was at a very nice vineyard wedding venue. Anyway, no, it's fine. It's fine. I just personally
Okay,
wouldn't wear that.
we'll
But
let.
the one that I saw recently on TikTok was about that. Well, I'll beep out her name, but is it a planner or photographer? Maybe a photographer. She offers like photo, video planning for like $1,800. And then this is crazy. Then on the day of the wedding, she goes on Facebook the week of the wedding. It's like, hey, is anybody available to shoot this wedding? I'll pay you $100 an hour, like an associate, a random person that she has no idea. And then
What?
somebody's like, yeah, I'll shoot it for you for $1,000. She sends that person, calls them a member of her team, even though she's never met them, has no experience working with them, etc., and then ghosts the client.
Wow.
It's a deep thing. I was on a TikTok deep dive about it. And that's what really, like, when I was mentioning earlier what I had seen, like, I had been seeing a lot about this girl just doing terribly horrible things to clients. And I don't understand how these people live with themselves.
And they've got to know that that's dirty.
That's
You
wrong.
know
Yeah.
what they're doing by making that $800 profit. Now, did was she editing the photos too, or was the
I
associate shooter editing the
she was
photos?
editing them, but she said that she had an engagement session with her and she was
Hmm.
like, I'm going to send a member of my team. She specifically said a member of my team. And then when the girl came and showed up and started shooting the engagement session, she was like, "Oh, like how do you know her?" And she's like, "Oh, she found me on Facebook a couple days ago." She's like, "This is the first time I've ever done an engagement session."
What?
Yes, this is all real. It's all on TikTok. I should have saved it.
I just want to know also, like, how common is that? Because I feel like I've heard this exact story before with an associate shooter. I feel like it's kind of like
It's the
the same
same
shit every
story.
time.
Yeah, it is. And it's great. Like people get really, some photographers get really upset when they hear other wedding photographers do associate stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I I know this from the comments of this TikTok. But I mean, anything can be done correctly and legally. You know what I'm saying? Like I work with Wilder Weddings and they have an amazing associate team. And sometimes I associate for them, but I had to second shoot for them first. They had to
Mm,
vet me, vet my gallery. Like it was a whole thing. And now I'm very close to them and they trust me and I trust them. And it's not like, hey, anybody free in the Facebook group? Like North Carolina wedding photographers that these people you don't even know.
yeah.
It's crazy that people do it. I must have gotten the name wrong because this doesn't seem right.
How comfortable would you feel telling me about your experience as an associate shooter for that photographer we were talking about?
Which photographer?
No.
What photographer? Oh, well, I didn't actually work for her. Remember?
Would you feel comfortable sharing
Yeah.
that story?
Yeah, I would totally share it. It was bizarre. Oh my God. Okay. So,
Wait, let's start from the epicenter. So recently, well, not recently, as of this year, and we kind of see this at least once a week where a wedding vendor is getting canceled in the
all the time.
Facebook groups,
Hmm.
and I'm not a member of all of them necessarily, but it's just interesting when you're scrolling through Facebook and you're seeing the same copy and pasted. And everybody in the comments is just like, wow, and freaking out.
Yeah.
I do try and understand like there's multiple sides to every story. But in this particular situation, this poor photographer was just getting, you know, drugged,
Blasted. Yeah.
blasted. It was so gnarly. But Taylor and I were texting about it, and she said that she had a very different experience with this photographer. If you wouldn't mind opening up about it.
Yeah. So,
Cut
there,
cut all this. I
you want to cancel out? You want me to take the heat? Fine. I don't mind because I think she is a scam artist. Okay.
cut out like the past like 3 minutes, okay?
Oh my God. Okay.
So Taylor Parker, would you mind sharing an experience that you shared with me
Yeah.
about
So
this photographer that got canceled?
this photographer posted in a Facebook group that I'm in and was like, hey, I need an associate to shoot a wedding for me in somewhere. I couldn't remember. She was like, yeah, I need an associate. I'll pay you $100 an hour, whatever. So I commented, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm available. I'll take it because I do a lot of associate shooting and second shooting for some friends of mine. And she was like, okay, do you want to hop on a call? I'm like, of course. I actually don't think I shared any wedding galleries with her now that I'm thinking back on it, which is a red
Oh,
flag. You should never hire somebody if without seeing their work.
okay.
So she called me. We talked for like 15 minutes. She's like, okay, this sounds great. We get off. And then I'm like, hey, send me the address. So she sends me the address. And I find out, I'm like, oh, this is actually way further from me than I thought it was going to be. This is like a 4.5, 5 hour drive, and I'm only getting paid like $400.
Yeah.
And that's way too far. I had an infant at home at this point. So within 15 minutes of getting off the call, I texted her, I'm like, hey, I just like put the address in. I realized this is almost 5 hour drive for me. Like, I don't feel like this is a good fit for me because it's too far. I have an infant. I'm pumping. I was literally breast pumping at the time. And I'm like, it's too far. I'm really sorry. And I think at the time somebody else had reached out to me about another job. So I was in between two jobs. I'm like, I told her that. I'm like, I have another job. I'm looking at associating for this. I was trying to see which one was going to be the best fit for me, basically.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I'm just going to take the other job, but I really appreciate your time. She sends me back this text message, and I wish I still had it so I could read it to you all. But she chewed me out and was like, you wasted my time. What am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to find somebody else? This was 15 minutes after our phone call. This was not like 15 minutes before the wedding. This was like a month and a half, 2 months before the wedding. It's not like I left her high and dry. She never even booked me when I never signed a contract. between the time that she was ripping into me and the time we had our phone call, there was like 30 minutes difference. No kidding. She's like, this is really unprofessional, which honestly, immediately I was like, this is a huge red flag. And my gut, I swear to God, has always bailed me out of everything. Like, I have such a good gut and I believe things are supposed to happen for a reason. I was never supposed to work for her.
Yeah.
And it worked out that way. And immediately I was like, oh, girl, this is not, I am just glad this worked out this way. And I was like, I'm really sorry you feel this way. She came back and she's like, you know what? I'm really sorry I acted that way. But she never really apologized. She just tried to apologize, but couldn't admit she was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm really sorry you felt that way, basically. You know that, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, then a couple of years later, I had not even told, I don't think I told anybody but my husband about this. It was just an odd experience. But then Kat and I started talking because she went viral in a local wedding group about scamming a few people about not getting their wedding photos back.
It was
Um,
scamming a lot of
a
people.
lot, several, yeah,
A
several clients.
lot
Yeah,
of people had a lot to say about it,
yeah.
which
And
just makes you kind of add validity to the claims.
well, I was like, I'm telling you, if you guys are listening to me, I have this hidden talent about being right about people. And I was like, oh, I knew it. I didn't tell anybody, but like I knew it in my gut this whole time. I was like, I had a feeling because that it was just a walking red flag. I'm not surprised to hear this, which is kind of sad that we are to a point in the industry that this happens so often that I'm not even surprised to hear about it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that just makes me sad because I love my job and I can't imagine ever doing that or hurting a client in that manner. Also, God, I'm going to make so many people mad, but I'm just going to say this. It is really not that hard to edit wedding galleries.
Uh, okay.
I'm
Here you have
so
it first. It's not
sorry.
hard to be a good wedding photographer with Taylor Parker.
Please don't get mad at me when I
Wow.
say this, but like give the people their photos. Jesus. It is
Oh,
not that
you're saying to
hard.
that extent. Like it's not okay. Now I understand what you're
Like
saying.
I know they're sitting there on her computer. What's the problem?
And I don't really know much about this. Sorry.
Did you black out there for a minute? It's fine. She's back. She's with us.
What the are we talking about?
I'm on this one of the posts in the group about her. And the top comment says, she has messaged the admins trying to remove this post. She has been banned from this group.
See, and I don't really think that's fair. I
Mm.
think in the American criminal justice system, you should be able to, what is it, face the plaintiff.
I don't know. If
God, words are
this were
so
just,
hard.
but if this were just one client, I
Yeah.
would say let's give this girl a chance. We're talking 20 plus people
And vendors too.
have been scammed by this girl.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just you.
No, I mean, thankfully, she probably would have never paid me. Like, I probably would have never been paid for that job that I drove 5 hours to. So I swear it just worked out. These comments are very telling because if there were one client that got on Facebook talking crap about me, I can promise you the comments would not look like this.
That's what I said. I said that first, Taylor Parker. I said, if that was any of us, our moms, our friends, I don't know why I just jumped to my mom, but our clients would jump down their throat.
Right? No, I have a whole army of people who have left me incredible reviews and who are still friends with me to this day that would be like, this is just you, girl.
Where are those happy clients? Do you have any happy people in your life
No, I've
that
not
can
seen
come
a
to your
single.
defense?
You know, I'm gonna look and see if she has good reviews on Google. Oh, oh, she doesn't even have a Google page, so she took it
Mm.
down.
Yeah, I see that a lot too. People taking
That's
down their Google page.
yeah, that's not good. That's a really, really bad sign. There's another photographer that did something similar to this. We were talking to a mutual photographer friend at an event we were at, and we were all talking about this one girl who everybody knows where I'm from, who has scammed so many people. Like I know several clients who only ever received about 5 photos from their wedding.
That's and again, why? Why can't you just give them the raw photos at the very least?
This girl, the one I'm talking about now, the not the first one, the second one, she tells people she lost the photos.
How does that even happen?
Like there's like a card issue or it doesn't happen. I swear my husband thinks that this girl goes and pretends to take pictures all day but doesn't actually do it.
I'm sorry, what?
That's his theory because it doesn't make sense where those photos go after she leaves. Why not just hand them the card at the end of the night if you really don't want to edit them that bad? And let me just say, editing is fun. It's my favorite part of the job.
And can't you like hire someone to edit them for you?
Yes, and edit. Yes, there's so many different AI editing things now that you don't even need to do it. But she tells every client, "Oh, my computer crashed and I hadn't backed them up," or "Oh, the first card crashed and the second card didn't copy." It's just some crazy every time. This like unbelievable. Like I'm telling you, like if that happened once, I would be like, "That's really unprofessional." But I get that that happens.
That could happen.
It could happen in a terrible event, but we're talking 15 to 20 times. She had to change her business name. She had to move out of the state. I'm not making this up.
And at that point, if you have that many unhappy clients and unhappy people, why are you
Just
staying in this
close
industry?
the doors. Close the
Why are
doors.
you continuing this scam?
Why are you continuing to ruin people's lives?
Right?
I mean, what do you find joy in that? Because at this point, I just believe you find joy in that.
Because honestly, let's talk about the repercussions of that, of not having your wedding photos.
Oh my
You
God, it's
can't
devastating.
you can't replicate that. And let's
No.
say that you even get some like iPhone pictures. You're not encouraging your guests anymore, at least, to be on their phones taking photos.
Yeah.
Cut that.
I got that. Don't worry.
I'd really try and be woke.
I love doing this with you. It's so fun. Half this episode is cut. And when I say, oh, you get what you pay for, if you're paying $1,000 for what, $500, let's say $500, $500 for a wedding photographer, oh, you get what you pay for. No, no, no. You still get photos.
Yeah.
They just might not be great.
And let's be honest, a lot of these people running these scams that appear to have a valid business and have a portfolio, they're still doing it too. So you could easily be paying anywhere from 5,000 to $1 million for a photographer, and you still get scammed and cheated and lied to and taken advantage of and all the horrible things.
I'm sending this to you on my secret stalker account, so you're not going to recognize the username. It's going to go to your requests.
Why do you have a secret stalker account?
So I don't know. Nobody does that. I've always had it. So I can go check people out and look at their stories without them saying that I look at them.
Oh my God. Why do you have the secret stalker account?
I literally have always had it. Did you get it?
What the Why do you have this?
It's just
Zero followers, zero posts, no profile picture.
literally just for stalking. Oh my God.
What? Just stalk people.
I can't because I blocked them on personal because I don't want them to see what I'm doing.
What is going on?
I shouldn't
Okay,
have
so
told you. I should have kept this a secret. You're the only person that knows about this.
please keep it in.
Please keep it in.
This is so funny.
This is the one that and I were talking about.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that they were doing boudoir shots. If you don't know what boudoir shots is, Google it.
We don't have
But
time for you. Google it.
Google it. This photographer had in their contract, which I think is pretty normal. I don't know, it shouldn't be. But if
No,
you've
there
been,
was no contract, which
why was
there was no contract. This was all verbal.
so okay, we'll get back to that later.
Okay, we could get to it
But
now.
you had to pay more money if you didn't want the photos of your boudoir shot of you butt naked to be posted on social media
Yeah.
or, on the website or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Was the end of the story that the photos still ended up getting on social media for some reason?
Yes, social media and website, and she refused to take them down.
Cool. It
I,
should be illegal. I'm
it
it
all
might
depends on how comfortable you are. It was illegal. What she did was illegal.
okay. I just I want it out there
But
that we are now a Law and Order SVU podcast. Gong gong. Jump scare.
this girl, I could talk about her forever.
Can you tell me another example of ways she's scammed people or what's her MO?
So she's the one that goes that I told you Patrick thinks doesn't even take photos at weddings.
Okay.
One time she told a client she accidentally put the SD card in her jean pocket and washed it in the washing machine.
How is somebody that possibly careless? Like, I would never believe that in 1,000 years. Like, that's your best excuse.
I don't know what really happens to these images because she picks out five and like puts them on her website. No, she doesn't even have a website. She only has an Instagram, which is its
Red
own
flag.
red flag. Yeah. She doesn't have a Google page because she's had to change her business name so many times because people keep reviewing her as her original business name, which I'm going to Google it and see what I find.
I think that at the end of this episode, or we can do it right now, we can do a bullet point list of red flags if you think that you are potentially being scammed or maybe scammed by a wedding vendor. So, bullet point number one would be not having a website.
Not
Bullet
having a
point
Google profile.
not having a Google profile, which I will say I've been trying to get verified on Google for several years now. It's not going well. My friend Zach Bradley has tried to help me, but I am really struggling with my patience
I
with
really
the
can't remember
system.
it being that hard. I don't remember that.
They've changed basically
Oh,
everything.
yeah, that was like literally 10 years ago. So I'd say they've changed it.
So, but I still think that I have a Google page. Please,
Let me Google it. I'm 99% sure that you do. Hold on.
it's just not verified. So I just want that out there that I'm not entirely sure. But if you've completely
Yes,
taken
you
that,
have a Google.
I am proud to say that
Yes.
I have owned my business now for 2 years, and I know that I am now verified on Google.
And you have eight five-star reviews.
What's another bullet point red flag? So we had not having a website.
More
Uh,
than more than two bad reviews.
so more than two bad 1-star reviews.
I
Got
would
it.
give somebody like one or two chances to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like I have one bad review. I do.
I also think it's important, and this is kind of obvious, but looking at how potentially that person, that business owner responded to those reviews.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm talking if you're seeing multiple one-star reviews, multiple posts on Facebook about this person, we all know, we can all agree that's a major red flag. I mean, that should be unsaid.
Yeah. Obviously, the way that you also source your vendors can be really important because I think there is going to be a big difference between you taking your vendor recommendations from your planner or your venue or a photographer or a caterer. I think that if you find them that way, it's much more verified than if you found them on a Facebook group. Let's say you
Yes.
post in your local Facebook group and you say, "Hey, I'm looking for a photographer." Those people that are recommending them or the photographers that are reaching out to you directly, you don't know them.
No.
You
That's a
don't know
risk.
them.
That's a huge risk. Yeah.
Uh,
That's a really
eh,
good point. Your preferred vendors list that you're receiving from your planners and your photographers are gold. Golden.
And a lot of people might say, "Oh my gosh, they just recommended a $20,000 wedding planner to me." Go back and ask them, "Hey, do you know anybody that might be a little bit lower cost, or I'm specifically looking for this kind of package? Do you know of anybody that might be able to do this? Unfortunately, this person that you recommended is just out of my budget."
Yeah, and low budget doesn't mean scam. That's not what we're
No.
saying. It doesn't always mean scam. Like I refer low budget photographers for people who like, oh, you're out of my budget. Is there anybody you recommend? I'm like, of course there are people I recommend. Just because you pay $1,500, $2,000 for a photographer doesn't mean you deserve not to receive your wedding photos.
I have a really good friend of mine, Erin Exline, that she's been doing this for 10 years and she charges less than I do.
Yeah, Yeah.
And that's just because of the time that I believe that she is spending with her clients. I can't really speak on her behalf about how she structures her packages, but it is interesting. But she's also serving the clients in her area. I hope that that beginning part made sense to people and like why I'm so passionate about this. I just
I think
don't
it
know
did.
if it's obvious to people. Like it's obvious to me, like, yeah, go and educate yourself before you just open up the doors to a business. But I don't understand what makes anybody think that they don't need to do their own education before offering wedding services.
Yeah. It's just, you should know better with the internet access we have.
Right.
And it's hard because you can't go to school for this.
You can't. You can't. And it might be very intimidating to go about this somewhat organically and try and have an apprenticeship and try to build a relationship because it is so much networking.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a big job. I mean, that's part of it, though. I mean, that's the work that you do, that's part of the job.
Yeah. It's what you sign up for.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find some Reddit stories.
Okay. I have already exposed the entire industry, so I guess you're tired of hearing me talk.
Okay, so this is a wedding vendor story from a bride and groom. This was posted 2 years ago on Reddit. It reads, my fiance and I had a phone conversation with a photographer slash videographer after reviewing their website, which seemed legit.
Okay.
I found this vendor on a Facebook post. Red
Mm.
flag number one.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
It's me saying it. We signed a contract and paid a 40% deposit via PayPal using a credit card. Let's
Okay.
just take a moment. 40%, weird amount.
Yeah, that
Don't
is
under,
interesting. Yeah.
don't understand where that number came from. And also PayPal using a credit card. I don't know. I just don't like that. That just from my internal voice is already telling me three red flags. We have the Facebook post, the 40% number, which is odd, and the PayPal. So
Yeah.
don't like that. I'm going to keep going though.
Okay.
Since we signed the contract 10 days ago, I have gotten almost daily texts from them, including a text at 1:08 a.m. on a weekday that I found unprofessional. They
Okay.
asked me about a promotion to pay in full and get a free wedding photo book. Then we were started receiving invoices and our email for payments with due dates starting within a week after we had paid the initial deposit. We
Mm.
never agreed to a payment plan, nor was it discussed or mentioned in the contract. The contract stated the final and full payment is due 30 days before the event. This vendor then starts texting me nonstop about the invoices. We kept getting new invoices with different dates and amounts every other day. We emailed her regarding this confusion. She continued to text me instead of emailing us back, saying the invoice must be paid and can't be changed or removed in the system. Then, in my email response, I kindly asked her to only use email for communication as texting is not preferred and only goes to one of us. The next day, she sent another text anyway, right after sending another email with a new invoice amount. I requested a phone call to clarify the terms of the contract in these invoices. We ended up having a brief call and I clarified we don't need to pay now per the contract. But the next day, she sends me another text about yet another payment plan option, which requires us to make a small payment immediately and to pay the rest after June 23rd or by July 30th at the latest. What? According to the contract, the final payment is due August 3rd. The volume of text started to feel a bit much by this point. Really, I'm shocked. On a side note, the vendor's Instagram only had posts from June 2022 to September 2022 with only 66 followers. On
Mm.
Facebook, their photos have no likes.
Ooh.
Majority of their website gallery is not posted on their Instagram. We're starting to wonder if they're a scam or just awfully unprofessional. I can't find reviews either. That's it. I'm done now.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask my question. Have we gotten an update or is this recent?
So it says this was posted 2 years ago, but it
Oh,
says at the bottom, update, had a good convo with the credit card company slash bank to file a dispute. Fingers crossed.
that's it?
Yeah.
We don't know how it ended?
Hang on.
I'm dying to know now.
Anyways, I kind of want to review the story that I just read.
Let's review all those red flags because there were several.
Yep.
I wrote them
Yep.
down.
Okay. How many did you count?
Six is what I counted, I think. I will
Okay.
say there were two green flags.
Okay. What were your green flags? Let's start with those.
The green flag was having a contract,
Okay.
and
Okay.
another green flag is them actually getting on a phone call.
Uh, I thought that was pretty impressive too.
Yeah, two green flags. So I was like, where is this going? Because both of those things were like, oh, good, great, love that. But then, and the Facebook posting, it's like a yellow flag.
I don't like it.
No, I don't either. But also, it can happen and it can work out. I mean, you know. So I don't know if I would necessarily call it a red flag. A lot of these are the yellow flags, but when you add them all up,
It's
it
a giant green
it's
flag.
a giant red flag.
Red flag. I'm so sorry.
Like 66 followers is definitely a red flag.
I just
All right.
I've been doing social media since I don't know, 2017. It's not hard to get followers, unfortunately.
You just put yourself out there, you know?
Just be great. That's what I do. Just be awesome.
My biggest thing is, and this is one of those instances where this was not done. When I say this in like every single episode, I mean it. Vet your vendors. They did not do this. They didn't notice all this stuff until after they booked her.
Yeah.
Read the reviews. They said, oh, there's no reviews, right? They said no reviews.
Yeah.
That's a red flag because like they could change their business name.
I also just want to take a moment because I feel like we are kind of on a lot of people right now and just being really negative about the wedding industry. I just kind of had a moment where I really wanted to highlight the wedding vendors that worked with me for my wedding day just to show how awesome a lot of vendors are out there. Like 90% of the wedding vendors are out there.
Yeah, this is a small percent, but unfortunately, it is still a percentage, you know? Somebody has to be this percentage.
Yeah. So I got married September 28th, 2024 in Mill Spring, North Carolina. It was badly affected by Hurricane Helene that came about on September 27th. We had no idea how bad the destruction had been in our area because we didn't have power, we didn't have Wi-Fi, we had no cell signal. My friend came over, just showed up at our house that Friday, and she, for some reason, had cell signal. And so I got on the phone with my wedding planner, and I was like, what is going on? And she was so lovely and so calm, and she was like, Kat, we're going to make this happen. Because I was all ears. I was like, are we going to cancel this whole thing? What is going on? I am open to suggestions. You tell me and we'll go with it. And she said, nope. The venue that we were having the rehearsal dinner and the reception and the farewell brunch, they had generators. My vendor team was just exceptional. And there was no way in hell they were letting this wedding day fail. So I had an amazing vendor team. My DJ was incredible. He did everything in his power to make sure that that wedding day and that day for us was going to be awesome. What do you want?
Is that Dustin?
Oh, he said he has something he needs to do at 12. So, okay. I love you. I'm in my mode. I don't need him bothering me. The
Mine
love
did.
of my life, everyone. Anyways, it is not doom and gloom. I think it is very rare that you are going to get scammed by a wedding vendor, but we're just here trying to help you see the red flags and go with your gut, but be cautious. You
Yeah.
know, what is it? Trust, but validate.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, we love our community. We love our industry.
Yeah.
I personally, I can't speak for you, but I know you agree. We know some of the most incredible people ever. Like some of my best friends are from the wedding industry and I trust them with my life and I certainly trust them with my clients. So, yeah, I mean, this is just bringing a little bit of awareness to the situations and it's a way to just try to help people who are in the process of planning a wedding and looking for vendors to protect them any way we can, of course. But, and also don't, if you're listening to this and you're planning a wedding, send us a DM. Like we'll help you.
Yeah. If you think that somebody is scamming you, or if you think that somebody, something's going south, DM me.
Yeah,
I
send us a
I
DM.
will fight a bitch.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to do that. We're here for you. And that's the whole point of this is so that you know you have somewhere to lean on and somebody to trust. But yeah, I hope that it didn't sound like we were just bashing everyone. You know,
And
you know how we feel. I feel every single episode pisses somebody off every time.
and going back to what I was saying beforehand, where I continue to further my education and I try and do as much as I can before opening up the doors of my business, I take that same respect when I potentially hear of one of my clients getting scammed by a vendor. It doesn't happen often, but one time, I'm not going to say when, there was a situation where there were some red flags going on with a vendor. And I went and I found the mutuals on Facebook, mutual friends that I had with this person on Facebook. And I reached out to a couple of them and I said, "Hey, what have you heard? What's good?" And the feedback that it came back was universally negative. So I consulted my client and I said, "I really think that we should move in another direction." It was very close to her wedding, but ultimately we did decide to move forward with another vendor.
Okay, so I think that's it for today.
Um, Here's a couple things if you want to prevent wedding scams. We talked about researching vendors thoroughly. And if you don't have the time for that, put somebody else on it. Put somebody else in your corner and say, "Hey, mom. Hey, sister. Hey, maid of honor. Hey, chat GPT. Can you verify this vendor for me?" Another thing you can do is meet in person or at least just have a phone call with them to kind of authenticate their professionalism. Get a contract, even though kind of with these smaller contracts, it will go to small claims. But at least, again, like I said in our last episode, it will kind of at least list out the expectations and be wary of any large payments. If it's over 50% as your initial deposit, there's something going on there. But if it's more than 50%, I would think that's suspicious. And most importantly, trust your instincts.
Yeah, I agree. You nailed it.
Also, I just learned that if you suspect a scam, you can file a complaint with the North Carolina Attorney General's office. I did not know that. I don't really know how far that's going to get you, but it will be something.
Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more info on that as well, but I do
I
not.
can keep you guys updated. Oh, we forgot to do our corrections corner. Hang on, I gotta go to my dad's text. A friend of mine that listens to the podcast, Kayla, came in last night and she was like, "Oh, you should do the instead of calling it whatever what were we calling it?" She was like, "You should call it Jim's Law because my dad's name is Jim.
Jim's
Jim's Law.
Law.
Bum bum."
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that
Okay,
funny?
that's fine. I like that.
Okay. He said, well, this was more of a suggestion rather than a correction, but we're going to make it all encompassing for Jim's Law.
Okay.
He said that 15-minute Friday episodes should not be 21 minutes long. Less talk about foster cats. That can go in the show notes.
Okay, wait.
Thanks, Jim.
I just have to tell Jim, I actually cut like 5 minutes of her talking about her cats. So it was gonna be like 30 minutes, and cut half. I got half the episode of her talking about her cats. Okay. So I'm with Jim on this one.
He also said that he's very disappointed.
Okay.
Disappointed
Okay.
because the episodes aren't coming out on a regular day. And I'm like, I can't name a single podcast that actually
Can
keeps
you
to a schedule. Yeah, like we say it's going to be Tuesdays, but y'all know it might be Wednesday.
can you
So,
tell him I'm doing my best? I was on vacation, Jimothy,
like, not only was she trying to be on vacation, but she has two small children, and
one which is crying right now.
which sounds like the house from hell. Okay, can we uh, give her some grace?
My husband just walked in. He's already angry.
And she's got an angry husband. What
He's
could be worse? So
okay.
that's
Okay.
my conclusion on Jim's Law. Bum bum.
That was great. I love it. Oh, I actually do have um something Patrick suggested. I asked him, I was like, should I keep beeping out the curse words?
Okay.
Because I know, like, I actually talked to somebody yesterday who said they listen to it in the car with their kids. So that for me is motivation to keep the curse words beeped because a lot of parents don't have time to, free time. And he said, yes, you should keep beeping them out, but you should use something creative instead of a beep.
Oh, like what?
He thinks I should say beep.
Beep.
What else did you suggest? Goose honk. Or a goose honk. Anyway, I was like, I have to run that by my associate Kat, and then we'll see.
We should put it in the Facebook group. What
Yeah, we
what other
should.
sound would people like to hear? Should we do like a pleasant harp or should we do, a car crash sound?
We're gonna post that. You post that. You haven't posted in a couple days in the
I
group.
know, I'm really sorry. It's social media is not good for me and I refuse to let anybody else do it besides me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. We're all here on your time, baby.
Mm.
Okay, so don't forget to rate us on Spotify, join our Facebook group, follow us on Instagram. Give us, you know what? Go check out our Google business profiles.
Berg Weddings and Events and Taylor Parker Photography.
And let us know what you think. And yeah, that's that. This is a juicy episode. I'm interested if we're going to get some feedback on this one.
I just hate that it's not funny,
I
but
just think there's a really high chance we're going to be defo getting some hate mail.
how would people possibly get hate mail for this? We're trying to help the public.
Yeah. No, no, I mean from the people we talked about.
Oh, well, they're not listening. Let's be
Probably not.
honest.
I mean,
Because
it's
if
just
they
Jim.
were
It's
listening, that meant that they were trying to further the education, and we know they're not.
oh my God, that was beautifully said. It's mostly just Jim and Wendy anyway. So
Yeah.
shout out to
Hi,
them.
Jim.
Hi, Wendy. Love you, bestie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So until next time,
Uh,
we
yeah.
really got to work on this, don't we?
Yeah.
We need a better outro. We'll take suggestions for that too. But we love you guys, and we'll see you at the next one.
Squeeze you later.